Hi everyone, I am making this video because I wanted to go over the guidelines for group project number 3, and I kind of wanted to go over the rubrics just to let you know how you will be graded. I have been really impressed throughout the semester with your projects, and I'm looking forward to seeing your last presentation and to see what you can come up with for this one. So really quickly, I wanted to go over what is your presentation about. So your presentation is what I like to call an invitational project, and it stems from the idea of invitational rhetoric. So on our last project, on our Sell Me Something, we kind of did like an infomercial. We did the formal way of looking at persuasion. This project is a little bit different. Invitational rhetoric is similar to persuasion, but it does borrow a lot of its elements from feminism. So instead of kind of like telling somebody what product they need to buy or what they need, invitational rhetoric looks at giving people all the information that they need to make their own decision rather than telling them what to purchase or what to do. So that's how it varies. So it's more on the feminine side of persuasion as opposed to the more patriarchal traditional look at persuasion. So for this project, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be selecting a problem that is happening, whether it is in your society, nationally, globally, etc. And you're going to be looking at what the problem is, and you are going to research with your group mates and propose different solutions for the problem. And when you are proposing the solutions, you're going to give pros and cons to that. So rather than just saying this solution is the best, you should do this one, kind of like what you do in traditional persuasion, you're going to be saying these are the pros and the cons for each one of the solutions that you propose. So you are required to choose a problem, again, that you and your group decide that you feel passionate about, and you're going to come up with a good explanation for what the problem is, why your group thinks we should be talking about this problem. And then you're going to come up with 3 different solutions for that problem. Depending on how many people you have in your group, you'll have 1 to 2 people working on the solutions, 1 to 2 people working on the problem section of the outline. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be proposing the solutions with pros and cons as to what makes that solution good or bad. And you're going to show them in the most unbiased way, just again kind of letting the audience know that those are actual solutions, but without telling them to side with one over the other. Your presentation is going to be 6 to 7 minutes in length, kind of like what we were doing with the other presentations. You are going to be filming a YouTube video, and you will be submitting a link for that. You will be required to submit an outline like the other presentations, with the difference that this outline will require you to submit 6 sources, and you are going to have to cite those 6 sources in your presentation. How you cite them, it doesn't really matter, but try to have it in a balanced way. So don't cite all 6 sources in your problem section or underneath a solution, kind of like space them out between your outline. So that's what the presentation in the project is about. Some problems that you might be able to think about that you think will be interesting to talk about would be vaccination. That's going to be a major problem coming up with the COVID vaccines. You can also talk about shutting down businesses during COVID, or you can talk about global warming, the use of straws, recycling. Any of those could be evaluated in the invitational rhetoric way of things. So quickly, let's look at the rubric. Again, underneath the rubric section of your Canvas page, you are going to find the rubric. The rubric for this outline, it's very simple. It only has 3 criteria that I'm going to be looking at. The first one that I'm going to be looking is group dynamics. By this time now, you should get a good hang of working together with your group, sharing the work amongst each other, everybody participating and collaborating equally. That's out of 25 points. You are required to use a visual aid for your presentation. So you are required to use both a visual aid and to show your faces at the same time. That way I can see that you can all work together and talk together and have a visual aid. The visual aid that I am looking for has to be some type of slide visual aid. So Google Docs, Keynote, Google Slides, PowerPoint. Any of those are the slides type of documents that you can use for a visual aid. So I want to make sure that all of you know how to use a visual aid, that you all refer to it, and that it enhances your presentation. Finally, I want to make sure that you all follow the prompt. That's out of 50 points. Make sure that you are looking at a problem. You're offering 3 unbiased solutions. Every single group member is participating in explaining the problems and solutions. That you have 6 sources in your presentation and they are quoted throughout your presentation. Your actual presentation video is going to be out of 100 points. So moving on back to the presentation rubric, your rubric looks very, oh, sorry, wrong one. Your rubric looks very similar to your sell me something outline rubric. Basically, you are going to want to have it in bullet points, complete sentences, making sure that it contains all the information that you are going to be putting into your YouTube presentation. Make sure that you also label who contributes to what part of the presentation. And that's out of the 25 points, it's the format section. For sources, we want to make sure that everybody uses sources in their outline and in their presentation. Make sure you have 6 sources, that they are in MLA format when you put your works cited, and that you include MLA format in text citations. And that's out of 25 points. Your presentation in total is out of 150 points. So again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what you can do with this. I know that this has not been the ideal way of looking at group communication. The way that I had planned this class was so much different in face-to-face than it is online. But I want to thank you all for making the best possible effort to adapt to our environment as much as possible, and just to the whole situation that's going on right now. It's not only difficult for us as faculty, but I understand it is difficult for you all as students. And I really do appreciate sticking with me throughout the semester and just exploring group communication with me. So if you want to take any other classes with me, I am teaching argumentation next semester and during the winter semester, and that's one of my specialties. So I hope that you have enjoyed this class as much as I've enjoyed teaching you. And I'm sorry for the weeks that I have been missing in action, but I do promise you that it's because there has been chaos in my house. You all take care and let me know if you need any help. I am here to help you out with anything. Good luck with your final presentation, and I cannot wait to see what you do with them. Take care, folks.